Claude Code is literally everywhere right now. People are using it to build multi-million-dollar businesses and replacing entire teams already. And if you're not technical, it can really feel like you're being left behind. But here's the thing, you don't really need to know how to code to use Claude Code. Because I've been using it for months and I realized nobody's really showing non-technical people how to unlock its power to do their work. So today, I'll show you what Claude Code can do, how to get started, and a few easy ways to start using it, all without having to write a single line of code. And by the end of this video, you'll have built your first workflow and you'll know exactly how to build whatever you need with it. So let's dive in. First of all, as a non-technical person, I need to show you what Claude Code is even good for and different reasons you might be able to use it. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so this is really important. Let's dive into why even use Claude Code as someone that's potentially non-technical, right? So for one, I'm gonna be taking you guys through a lot of these use cases and how to do this without having to write a single line of code. But at a higher level, Claude Code is really cool because it can access your local computer. So it has context of all of that. It can connect to any other apps like Google Sheets, etc. And you know how like people create these AI agents in N8N? You can prompt these things in Claude Code, and because it knows how to write the code, inside your computer, it's running all these different automations and even has shared context across the different things you do. So that's like super powerful, where you can just take advantage of automating almost everything in your life if you can use this correctly. So Claude Code actually just has a few different concepts. If you can understand, then you can really start being a power user and you don't have to write any code or even know how it works to kind of use it. You just need to prompt, verify the results, and use it. So let's dive into that. Okay, so let me show you how to set this up and how we can get started. All you need to do, it's really simple. You just Google Claude Code, boom. And then first you need Node.js, where you just hit this and then you download it and open it and you'll have it. That's the easy part. But right here, you open this and then you go to terminal, right? And then you hit here. I already have it, so it's not gonna do the same thing. But what you wanna do after you have that done is you wanna open up Claude. So after you pasted that in and hit enter, all you need to do is just hit write Claude and then go in, all right? And then I do /login, and then I'm gonna log into my account. It's gonna redirect me here. I'm gonna authorize it, and then boom, I'm good to go here. Okay, now I just have to hit enter to continue and I'm there. All right, now you'll see, let's try to make it do something, right? So you see my desktop is kind of messy. So what if I want to organize it? Can you organize my desktop into folders? Okay, so now just to show you, it can start doing a lot of cool stuff. Like right now, all I asked you to do is just organize my desktop. So you see how it's kind of going through, it's making its own plan, and see, it's just asking me if I can do XYZ. And I'm gonna say yes and don't ask me again. This happens so the commands are a bit safer. And there's another mode you can also use. It's called the dangerous mode, where it doesn't ask your permission and it just keeps doing it. But you see how in my desktop, everything's getting organized, right? So it becomes really easy for Claude to essentially have access to your computer and do a lot of cool things for you, right? So I think I have some stuff in my downloads folder, for example. So for example, here, I have this video right now. You see, this is my latest release for GPT. And let's say I want only the first minute of that, right? I can just be like, go to my downloads folder, find Samin GPT revision.mp4, and can you give me the first minute of that video? Okay, so it's very unstructured, but the reason I'm doing this is because let's say I want to slice that video and I want to upload it to something like LinkedIn or Twitter, so people get a taste of the video and they'll go to YouTube and then watch that, right? So these are really easy little things where you can just like get Claude to do a lot of cool stuff like this. And then in a second, I'll speed it up if it's taking too long, but normally you just have this in the back. But you see what it's trying to do, it's trying to find the file. I wasn't very specific, and you see how there's some parentheses in these files and it literally says I found the file. Okay, cool. Now, can you slice that and then make a new video file for the first minute? I just asked it to give me the file in the first minute of that, and then it's figuring out the things it needs to do to get these done. So you can see it's updating to do, it's okay, and it figured out it needs to use this thing called FFmpeg to get this done. It's going ahead, and this is multiple different instances of Claude just running on in the background to do this. Okay, so you see how I actually already have it. Okay, so it just did it. So now you see how this one is like 1.23 GB, but this one's just 400 megs, and that's just the first minutes.
Smarter, faster, and cheaper.
Yeah, these are some cool little applications, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Be diving in and showing you actual uses of Claude Code, where you can have this stuff running in the background. It's doing reporting for you, etc. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, cool. Now you guys just saw Claude Code interacting with my local files and my computer, and it being able to do a lot of things, right? Now, what we want to do is give Claude Code the ability to kind of like access every other apps like Google Sheets, Twitter, etc., right? How do you do that? So the way to do that, and it's actually really simple, all you need to know is how to copy and paste is, let's say you go here, there's two options. So you go zapier.com/MCP and you hit get started, and then you hit new MCP server, and then you select this, you go to Claude Code, and then you create it, and then you can add any tool you would like for Claude Code to have access to. Okay, I'll show you, for example, Google Sheets as an example. Boom, boom. Okay, remember all I said is what you need to know how to do is copy and paste. So we just added these tools, and you can add a bunch more. Then you hit connect, then you hit copy, and then you go to your terminal again where your Claude Code is, and then let's blur this out. And then now after I have just entered this, I will do exit, clear, and then Claude. All right, so now I have my Claude that can interact with Google Sheets, right? So let me show you a quick little demo. So I have this little demo sheet right here, and then let's see if Claude can interact with that. Can you use Zapier Google Sheets MCP to find booked in demo CRM lead tracking system and like color code it? All right, so what I'm doing right here is that there is my Google Sheets right here. And what I just asked it to do, since we just made that connection to Zapier and Google Sheets with Claude Code, now I'm literally asking this. So this acts as my central command dashboard, which should be able to get insights from different sheets, my Slack channels, all that different stuff, whatever we connect it to, right? So I'll let this run in the background, and once it's back up, I'll show you what happens. Okay, maybe I should be a bit more descriptive, but you can see real time how all the hot leads are being color coded red. And this is just one way to do it, but you can see it can keep these up, and whenever there's a new rule, it can set up a new rule where this is colored. But this is just a very small use case. Let's actually dive into the things that are more impactful. All right, now we just saw Claude kind of interacting with our computer files, and then also interacting with outside apps. And now it has context of both, right? We probably want to make this more useful and more autonomous. So how do we kind of do that? But to do that, I'll show you by building this use case live with you guys, all right? And this is something I kind of need. That's why I'm building this right now. What is it? Just by prompting, this is what we want to do. I have to do a lot of AI content that I like doing, right? I like keeping up with the news, and I know some creators have access to the latest scoop, and I trust their credibility. Okay, so because I know they're really fast with what they do, what I can do is I can look out daily or weekly or whatever for their content, what they're uploading. I can get Claude Code to understand all of that and then send me a daily digest report so I can stay up to trend. All right, so this is one way I can really stay up to date with AI news and seeing what I want to build and develop. So let me show you how to build that. And to build that, we kind of need some agents always running in the background, and they should be specific and know what to do. So Claude Code has this concept actually built in where they let you do this with prompt, and it's called sub-agents. All right, okay, so what are sub-agents? So sub-agents basically solve this problem. So how Claude works is like any other LLM, like ChatGPT or Claude, but the problem becomes is we don't want to keep stuffing that one big prompt with multiple different things because it doesn't stay as good. So Claude kind of acts as an orchestrator, and what we can do is just by prompting create separate specialized agents so we can have better quality, it can be more reusable, and it can run in parallel. This is pretty big. And then there's less bloat. It can do focused tasks. So for example, the thing we just mentioned, the use case, first, we need a researcher agent that will basically go out, look at some channels, scrape their data, and compile all that research, right? Then we need a writer agent. Also, notice how this researcher agent will have access to scrape the internet, because the writer doesn't need to do that, but the researcher needs to compile, so we can limit their access to tools so they're even better. So then the writer agent will disguise and then make it write with a specific prompt. And this makes it, when we're debugging this stuff, for example, it's way easier because they're in modular pieces, right? So we can basically blame the writer if it's writing bad. We can blame some research is bad. And then ultimately the editor will take both what's written and what's been researched and then send an email to us, right? And this is actually really simple to build. Normally you'd have to build an end-to-end workflow, do a lot of scraping, and it's a lot harder, but with Claude Code, I'll just show you how to do it by just prompting. So let's get into it. All right, so first let's build the researcher agent. What we need to do is make sure it has the ability to scrape the internet and also go to YouTube and get the transcripts and also understand what this is about. So let's go build that. So let me open up my terminal again. And then now what we want to do is we want to create a sub agent. Okay. So to do that, this is what we first do. First hit /agent. First, we want to make an agent. So to make an agent, you'll actually see it says create new agent, and all I do is hit enter. And then if this is for your personal, where it's always going to run, or it's a project, you can just select one. And then you do generate with Claude. It's that easy. Okay. Now I'm going to tell it what to do. So I can tell it to do something like create an agent that uses the YouTube downloader API to kind of scrape data from some YouTubers I like. And then I want to see what videos they have. What your job is to get the transcript for the newest videos they uploaded and then compile a research report. Okay. Ask me for the YouTubers. Okay. So let's get this guy's channel. All right. And you can get a bunch. I'm just showing you one. So it's simple. Add him to the YouTube compiler agent. All right. So you can see it's just like talking to someone and then building the stuff in. So now what we're doing is we're making a specialized agent that can do research on our behalf. And then essentially we can get reports from them. Right. All right. So now that we just prompted this research agent, let's kind of test it out. All right. So I'll open back up the terminal and then I'll say, can you use the YouTube compiler agent to get back the last videos and what they were about? Okay, so I'm just gonna let this run for a bit. Okay, so this thing just finished and you'll see it took a little bit, took like 5 minutes, but it summarized all of the videos of World of AI, and I also added in Julian Goldie, and then now it literally has a report and access to the topics that these guys are reporting about, right? And that's the research agent. It's all it's meant to do. It's just go find out what topics these guys are talking about. All right, cool. Now we see that the research agent works. Now we made the research agent. All we have to do is make sure we make a writer agent and an editor agent the same way we just make the research agent by just prompting it, right? But the bigger thing is just the editor agent. And how we do that is the same way is by going into Zapier MCP. If you just by the last thing we did, how we kind of gave it access to Google Sheets, all we need to do to give it access to email is just do this and then hit Gmail. Okay. And then you'll see Gmail is up here. That's all you need to do. Now your Claude Code will have access to sending emails, right? So since we have to do that, and let's say we just made these two agents as well, I'm going to be showing you something cool where we just have to make an orchestrator agent. And the orchestrator agent, what that will do is basically call these in order. So it'll do the research first, and then I'll write something, and then I'll edit something, and then it'll send me an email. Okay. All in one pipeline. And it's as simple as just prompting. It's just, I want to make sure that you understand the theory behind how these things are orchestrated so you can start building these for yourself. All right. So let me show you how to build the orchestrator agent. All right, so let's go back to the terminal. Now, same process, /agent, and then create new agent, project, generate with Claude. Can you create an orchestrator agent that will first call the research agent to do some research, and then it will use a writer agent to do some writing, and then the editor agent, and then compile a report to be emailed to me? Yeah, so that's the process of creating these sub agents. It's just you go to this agents, and then you talk to it, and then it gets created. All right, so let me wait until this is done, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to use this. All right, so that thing just finished. So let's take a look at the pipeline agent, and you'll see right here what it does is call the researcher agent, and then calls the writer agent, and then the editor agent, and some error handling. All right, so now we know this thing is going to call all these in sequence and then send me an email. So let's try that. And then, hey, can you compile all the reports from the YouTubers on what's new and then send me an email? Okay, so it's going to be doing this right now. I'll show you the email after it's completed. It takes a little bit, so let's get into that. But the thing is, we also want it to happen and run on the background, right? So I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Okay, so you'll see the quality of the writing we have to change with just by checking with the agents, but you'll see this is just a very quick digest that every day now I can get an email of what's kind of new. So it makes it really easy for me to understand new things that are coming out, like Jules update, Devin, this open source Jules, all this stuff. So this is one way of actually doing these kind of work. And this makes my life a lot easier because it'll just automatically run in the background and email me. But the thing is, this has to be triggered on its own. Let me show you how to put this stuff on autopilot. Okay, so now we just learned what a sub agent is, why it's useful, and how to give it access to tools. So you saw it when we just asked things like, hey, go find out about these YouTubers, scrape their data, see what they're talking about, and give me an email. This is cool and all, but we probably want this to happen on autopilot every day, right? So I want to show you how that happens, and it's with this concept called hooks. So let me show you what that's about. Okay, so we just developed this YouTube trend finder, and what we ideally want is this trend finder is running on its own every day and emailing me every day, right? It can get a lot more complex because we can add these MCPs, but to keep it simple, hooks are just basically event-based triggers. Like if it's 8 a.m. every day, email me a digest, all right? If we can do this, if we master sub-agents and hooks, we can end up creating background agents. More on that in a bit, but let's dive into hooks and let me show you how easy it is to set up. Okay, so let's go back to Claude Code. I'm gonna go to my terminal. And now what we're gonna do is if I do /hooks, you'll see you can manage a bunch of your hooks, right? And you can see all of your hooks. So I can say something like, can you create a hook on 8 a.m. every day to email me a digest of this YouTube orchestrator? Boom. Okay, so it's gonna be running now and I'll show you what happens after this completes. All right, so it just ran and it just went through creating all the scripts it needs, etc. But now you see every day at 8 a.m. it's gonna execute the YouTuber agents and it's gonna email me the results and log the inputs. And it's that simple, really. Okay, just to clear things up a bit more, what we have now is we learned how to create these orchestrator agents, which will trigger a bunch of sub agents like the researcher, writer, editor, etc. And that will be essentially detect events and happen on a schedule on its own, right? Which kind of all makes it into a background agent that keeps running for you, that you can also interrupt and make better as you go just by prompting it, right? Okay, so we just covered a lot. And just to make sure you guys are following along, we learned how to set up Claude Code. We learned how to organize files with Claude Code, how to cut and edit videos with it, how to create sub agents that can scrape the web like YouTube, how to make a team of them so they work together, and essentially take that team, put it on a hook, and make sure they're background agents, right? And if any of this feels a bit over your head, right now you can start much simpler. So watch this video next where I show you how you can build basic agents in minutes. And you know, the more important part is that people have used these kind of agents to make serious money. So watch this video and I'll walk you through step by step, which is a lot more simple, so you can set this one up and start making agents that you can sell.